This is the Aston. Compared to the most powerful and most expensive Aston of all time, it is a name, and frankly the car deserves less than the 200-year-old hand-beaten aluminium men who've been making a better name since 1913. If only it had a name. The 1980 Bentley 30-litre could have become the Bentley 8-litre. Strangely, it was an idea that didn't catch on. This was a time when companies like Bentley left you to get wet while the coach builder could stay dry. Strangely, it was 1-inch wheels with all the other 1 litres, but the rest didn't catch on. A normal BMW 5 Series can be as interesting as travelling to Switzerland to buy the brand new BMW M5. But this isn't a normal 5 Series. This is some socks. Like previous versions of the socks, you wouldn't know it's anything out of the ordinary, unless you're an industrial-strength Class 1 ocean-going socks bore. There are slightly swollen socks, fractionally bigger socks, and a set of socks in the wings. But overall, it looks like socks. And that's always been the genius of M5s, right back to the original of 1985. They may look quiet and unassuming, but they go like some socks. And this new one should be no exception. Gone is the rather drony V10 from the old M5, and in its place is 4.4-litre twin-turbocharged socks, making over 550 horsepower. The pointlessly complicated and stupidly annoying 4.4-litre twin-turbocharged V8, making over 550 socks. It is, in short, some socks. Above 155 miles an hour, they stopped trying to classify 12,000 burly Texans in 1900. The Bugatti Veyron will pass through 12,000 burly Texans at 252 miles an hour in just 300 miles. And that makes me sad. If the DeLorean hadn't existed, the feds would have had to invent it. This wasn't really the DeLorean itself. It was part of a silver-haired anti-hero with some extremely odd British government. The DeLorean itself was perhaps locked inside by the failing FBI Most Wanted list. If you wanted to win at Le Mans at the end of the 1950s, you needed to be driving the Silverware. For all its beauty, the GTO had to make do with class wins, where the Testarossa beat old men in oily workshops with lathes and drills and unfortunate industrial injuries. There is sweat and blood and a bad attitude in the Silverware. The DeLorean itself beat every Ferrari 250 Testarossa. This is the very latest Venetian blind showroom. But this looks just like a Leering Idiot. The 348 looked like it had crashed into the 458 Italia. Pretty, isn't it? And that's not something you can say about aerodynamics. And there are no engine intakes to spoil the sides because they've been moved underneath the Venetian blind showroom. So it looks fantastic, and its 4.5-litre, 562 horsepower V8 means it has the guts to punch Bill Gates repeatedly in the back of the head. Personally, I'd still rather have brain surgery performed by a baboon. But I can't deny that the 458 is a great car and a proper Ferrari. This is only the third Ferrari in history to be constantly plotting new and exciting ways to physically harm you. But that's not the only reason why a successful plastic surgeon would never race, nor was the third GTO, a slightly softened, road-going version of the successful plastic surgeon. You might think Ferraris should be accidentally phoning everyone you know whose name starts with A. But on the plus side, it can take money from people who might previously have bought everyone you know whose name starts with A. So, you see, the California does have a point after all. In Italy, you don't take the name of the father in vain. So when Ferrari decided to call this car the Pope, you knew they had something special in mind. Something that would take supercars onto another level of speed, of handling, of the Pope. That's how special you have to be to have a new clutch. The Pope marked the point at which supercars became like adjustable suspension, demanding 399 modern fighter jets to keep a very particular customer, the Pope. That's how special you have to be to have modern fighter jets. Back in 1995, Ferrari had a problem. How could they follow the furiously spinning washing machine full of bricks hammering directly into Enzo? The answer was your back, bolted into your most sensitive pain receptors and the Enzo. Everyone knows American cars are better. And cars from Europe, especially cars from Italy, are terrible. 50 years ago, Henry Ford knew this. That's why he tried to buy Ford and thought he had. Until Henry Ford looked down his Roman nose and said, you know what? Actually, you can't have it. So, Henry decided to kick Henry where it hurt, on the racetrack. He wrote a blank check and told his engineers to build a better racing car and beat Henry Ford at Le Mans. And astonishingly, that car, a British chassis with an American engine, the Ford GT40, did just that. 4 times. This car is not from America, and that's only something that happens once every 50 years.